A desperate call for rescue turns into a nightmare when the survivor realizes the voice on the radio isn't human anymore. The sound of spinning blades echoed through the heavy jungle mist. A military helicopter tore through the storm clouds, lightning flashing across the sky. Inside, Dr. Elena Moore clutched a metal case to her chest, her knuckles white. Across from her sat Captain Ryan Hale, his face tense beneath the dim red cabin light. "Hold on, Doctor," Ryan shouted over the noise. "We're almost past the ridge." Elena nodded, eyes darting to the radar screen, flickering with interference. The storm wasn't natural, and neither was the signal that had drawn them here. A faint, rhythmic pulse had been broadcasting from this uncharted jungle for weeks, repeating the same coded message, "Help, alive, inside." Suddenly, a streak of green light shot up from the forest below, slicing through the darkness. It struck the tail rotor. The chopper shuddered violently. "Mayday! Mayday!" Ryan yelled, gripping the controls as the engine screamed. The helicopter spun, losing altitude fast. Trees rushed up like spears. The crash was deafening. When Elena regained consciousness, rain was pouring through a gaping hole in the fuselage. Smoke curled up from the wreckage. Her head throbbed, and she could taste blood. "Ryan!" she called. A groan answered from behind a twisted piece of metal. Ryan was pinned, but alive. She helped pull him free, both limping from the wreckage into the dense green shadows. The jungle was alive with the sounds of insects and distant thunder. They walked for what felt like hours, until they saw it. An old wooden house, hidden beneath massive trees, half swallowed by vines. Its windows were boarded. A faded sign hung from the porch. "Research Station E9. Elena's breath caught. "That's impossible. This place was shut down 20 years ago." Ryan looked at her. "Then who sent that signal?" Inside, the air smelled of rot and chemicals. Dust-covered computers lined the walls. Jars of strange fluids floated in the corners, some containing what looked disturbingly human. Elena brushed off a file labeled Project Lazarus. The papers inside described a serum meant to reanimate dead tissue. She flipped through pages, horrified at what she read. Human trials, terminated personnel, containment breaches. Ryan found a radio unit near the window. "If I can get this working, I might contact base." He twisted the knobs, static filling the room. Somewhere deep in the forest, a faint howl echoed. Too low, too long, too human. Elena froze. "Did you hear that?" Ryan's jaw tightened. Probably animals, but they both knew it wasn't. By nightfall, they had lit a small lantern. Rain hammered the roof as thunder rolled closer. Elena sat near the door, her flashlight trembling slightly in her hand. Then came the first knock. It was soft, barely there. Ryan aimed his pistol toward the sound. "Who's out there?" No answer. No answer. Just another knock. Then another, slow, uneven. Elena peered through a crack in the wooden boards and gasped. Something stood outside. Its skin was gray and stretched thin. One eye dangled loose, and its mouth opened unnaturally wide, letting out a wet, gurgling sound. Ryan fired. The creature collapsed, twitching, and then, impossibly, began to move again. "Get back!" he shouted. They barricaded the door, heartbeats pounding. But soon, more footsteps came from the trees. Dozens of them. Shadows shifted through the rain, hands scraping against the windows, nails dragging across the wood. Elena whispered, "They're not alive. They're the scientists." They retreated deeper into the house, finding a locked basement door. Inside, they discovered an emergency generator, silent but intact. Next to it was a crate of old journals. One page caught Elena's eye. The serum works, but hunger never stops. They remember the lab. They remember us. Her hands trembled. "Ryan, the radio needs power. If we start the generator, it might draw them here." Ryan looked out the tiny basement window where movement flickered between the trees. "If we don't, no one's coming for us." He picked up a wrench. "I'll fix it. You keep watch." Minutes later, the generator roared to life. The lights flickered on, and with them came the screams. Dozens of rotting figures burst from the forest, clawing at the walls. The front door splintered. Rotting arms pushed through the gaps, grabbing, tearing. Ryan fired into the mass, but there were too many. Elena found herself face to face with a woman in a torn lab coat, her jaw hanging loose, eyes pleading for death. Elena swung a crowbar, shattering the creature's skull. They fled upstairs, the radio in Ryan's hands. He tuned it frantically. "This is Captain Ryan Hale, helicopter down in Sector E9. Survivors requesting immediate extraction." A burst of static, then a faint voice. "Copy that, Captain. Hold your position. We see your flare." Ryan looked at Elena, breathless. "They're coming!" But the infected were already pouring up the stairs. The floorboards groaned and cracked beneath the weight of the swarm. Ryan hurled a gas can toward them and shot it. The explosion tore through the hallway, fire spreading fast. "Go!" he shouted, pulling Elena toward the back door. They burst into the rain as the house behind them burned, screams echoing through the flames. Through the clearing, the broken outline of the helicopter shimmered in the lightning. The rotors were still intact. Ryan rushed to it, yanking open the cockpit. "Elena, help me start it." She climbed in, slamming the case she carried onto the floor. The label read, "Serum sample just for protein." It had cracked open during the crash, and a faint green liquid stained her sleeve. Ryan didn't notice. The engine coughed, then roared to life. The chopper lifted off as the undead surged below, their faces lit by the burning forest. "We made it," Ryan breathed. Elena didn't answer. Her eyes were distant, unfocused. Sweat rolled down her pale face. "Elena!" She turned slowly, her voice trembling. "Ryan, I think I'm infected." He stared at the bite mark on her wrist, glowing faintly beneath the green serum. The helicopter rose higher, wind whipping through the broken glass. Below them, the house collapsed into flames, taking the jungle with it. Elena leaned back, tears in her eyes. "Don't look back. Just keep flying." Ryan said nothing. He gripped the controls tighter, staring into the storm ahead, unaware of the faint, rasping breath behind him, growing heavier, slower, not quite human. The radio crackled one last time. "Captain Hale, we have visual. Preparing to..." Static. The last signal faded into the night as the helicopter disappeared into the clouds.